Ever feel like you're drowning in a sea of thelemic symbols without really understanding any of them? Imagine if getting a handle on these symbols could give you deeper clarity, purpose, and even change the way that you experience your life. In this video, I'm going to show you a way to interpret Thelema that brings true insight, not by getting lost in endless theories, but by using a straightforward, holistic approach. Stick around to the end to learn a new way to approach Thelema's symbols that makes them deeply meaningful to your own spiritual journey. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe to the channel. Also, please consider supporting me on Patreon. I will leave a link to my Patreon in the description for this video. Now, let's learn how to approach Thelema's symbolism in an empowering way. When I first approached Thelema, I was overwhelmed by its complex symbolism. But once I changed my approach, everything else changed for me as well. Today, I'm going to share that method with you. Symbols and esoteric imagery are everywhere in Crowley's works. You find them in the tarot, you find them in his poetry, you find them in the holy books, and you especially find them in his rituals. Let's use one specific example, the symbol of Pan in Crowley's ritual, the Star Ruby. If you're familiar with the Star Ruby, you know that it's Crowley's take on the pentagram ritual, and that it ends with an invocation of the god Pan. The usual approach to this might be to research every possible historical and mythological reference to Pan, finding everything that Crowley, the Greeks, or even modern occultists have written somewhere about Pan. But even after having done all of that, you still may be no closer to understanding what Pan means in the context of this ritual or why it should matter to you. So instead of using that approach, we're going to go the opposite way. We're going to work from the top down with what I call a holistic approach. We start with the big picture. We start with what the purpose of Thelema is, and from there we work down into what the specific symbols mean in context. This approach simplifies things and brings real clarity. Step 1. Start with Thelema's purpose. Thelemic spiritual practice is ultimately about finding one's Godhead, what Crowley called discovering one's true will. Everything in Thelema is designed to help you connect with that divine self, what I have sometimes referred to as star consciousness or Rahorkuit consciousness. If any action or any ritual aims at this purpose, it's Thelema. Keeping this purpose in mind, we can avoid getting lost in unrelated interpretations. Step 2, consider the genre. In this case, we're dealing with a particular ritual. This is different from dealing with an OTO initiation or a work of poetry or one of the holy books or a tarot card. In ritual, we use our whole bodies, we use all of our senses and our mind to engage with the essence of Thelema directly. The ritual becomes a microcosm, a small universe where we embody the general Thelemic principles. Step 3, identify the ritual's unique form. Each ritual has a specific form, even if all of them embody similar general principles. For the Star Ruby, Crowley identified it as a more elaborate version of the lesser ritual of the pentagram. He said it's meant to fortify the aura and symbolically connect us with our true selves. Step 4, analyze the role of each symbol in context. Finally, we can consider the specific symbol in question. In this case, Pan. In the Star Ruby, Pan appears at the climax of the ritual as we're giving the signs of Nox. Pan, in this context, is not just any old god of nature. He symbolizes the unraveling and the surrender of the ego to the higher self. He's a symbol of a fearless, all-consuming union with the core of our being, a process which Crowley calls love under will. By the way, if you are enjoying the way that I approach Thelema in this video, there's a really good chance that you would enjoy Unlock the Mysteries of Thelema. This is a free PDF guide in which I answer the 10 most frequently asked questions about Thelema. I introduce this guide with a short introduction where I explain my general approach to Thelema and how I came to it. This guide is great for beginners or for more experienced people looking to fill in gaps in their knowledge. And best of all, it's free. If you're interested in downloading this guide, you can find a link to do so in the description for this video. So now that we've got this method in place, how do we put it into practice? So now that we've discovered this about the symbol Pan, what do we do with it? How does it affect our practice? Well, in the case of the Star Ruby, knowing what Pan represents helps direct your intention at that part of the ritual. As you invoke Pan and give the signs of Nox, Notice how your sense of self expands. Pan embodies the unifying, ecstatic pull toward your true self, the invisible, magnetic center of the universe that Crowley calls Hadit. Your body, thoughts, and senses become mere instruments for the outflowing of this energy from Hadit into loving union with the rest of the universe, which is Nui. This is where Pan's real meaning shines. It's not just about his occult attributes or mythology. It's about experiencing the ecstatic loss of ego. It's about feeling your own core of godhood come alive in and through this ritual. When you approach interpretation this way, the meaning of the whole ritual comes alive, and you will know whether you're practicing it properly. So let's summarize the steps. Step 1. Start with Thelema's purpose. Remember, Thelema's goal is realizing one's own godhead. Step 2. Consider the genre. Rituals embody Thelemic truth differently than texts or tarot cards. Step 3. Identify the form. Understand whatever the item's unique goal or emphasis is. Step 4. Analyze the role of each symbol. Focus on how each part serves the ritual's ultimate purpose. Instead of getting lost in hundreds of meanings for a symbol, this approach brings focus to how each symbol embodies the core Thelemic truth. At its core, Thelema is not about decoding symbols. It's about transforming your perspective and transforming your life. By using this approach, you can start to engage in Thelema in a way that brings you into closer alignment with your true will. If this method resonates with you, let me know down in the comments how you plan to put it into practice. Also, be sure to check out this next video where we take yet another deep dive into core Thelemic theory and practice. I'll see you over there.